This is the Project B.A.I.T News Analysis, the Rambo Report for my people. I was listening to a radio program on public radio recently, and they got into a subject, a unique and important subject. That is the percentage of black male teachers in the classroom. Never heard an analysis of the importance of that. They did a good job on that program, and you should, if you can, try and access it via the internet, all right? Because Detroit once again has control of its public school system, sort of. And the focus has been entirely on the new superintendent. And then there was a discussion of the one superintendent candidate who was from out of town and who was white, and against the black candidate who was from Detroit, both males, and had been in Detroit public school system. All right. And so by and large, they avoided, that is, the people who were making the decision, they avoided two things: the racial importance and the local importance. And for the most part, the stakeholder media focused on where the person who was eventually become the superintendent, where he went to school, that is an Ivy League school, and pushed that importance, okay? And the fact that he had directed or been superintendent of a large public school system. Well, the interesting thing about this radio program on public radio was it focused on the absence of black male teachers in the classroom, not on the race or the quote-unquote qualifications of the superintendent, and spoke about the importance and the research that has been done about how black male teachers in the classroom, elementary, junior high, and high school, affect the learning process, the discipline process, and the culture of the classroom and the achievement of the students, especially black male students. And they indicated that around 2%, somewhere between 2 and 4% of the teachers in public schools are black males. And yet public schools are overwhelmingly black and substantially male. And it is the black male students who fail to achieve, who drop out, who are suspended, or are pushed out. But it indicated when there's even one black male teacher on the faculty in public schools at the elementary school level, that there is a significant effect on the achievement of black male students specifically and black students generally. So the question becomes, why has this not been discussed with regard to Detroit public schools or the charter schools? Because one of the things, topics that this program emphasized is that black male teachers leave the system in inordinate numbers, leave teaching, because they are not supported by the establishment, by the administration, by the superintendent in terms of their growth as persons and as teachers. They burn out. And it is also fascinating because it was indicated is that black teachers become the disciplinarians for white principals and white superintendents to deal with difficult black male students who end up being put inordinately in special education classes or suspended or fail to achieve. So that in addition to looking at the race of the superintendent as a role model, as an inspiration, as a person with cultural identity, we have to look at the teacher in the classroom, the race and gender and culture of the teacher in the classroom, because it was pointed out overwhelmingly that the teachers in black schools, public schools, are white females, which may also go to explain why so many white males admire and assimilate the concept of white beauty from their teaching experience, their learning experience, and student experience throughout their elementary educational process. We have a lot more research to do and a lot more change to effectuate. This has been a Project B.A.I.T. News Analysis, the Rambo Report for my people.
Hi, I'm Divine.
And I'm Malik Yakini, and we're here to talk to you about September is Black Reading Month. Every September since 1981, Detroiters have participated in the annual Black Reading Month celebration, which encourages them to read black books and magazines and to turn off the TV during the entire month of September, except for television shows like For My People.
And we're holding our third Black Literary Forum, which will be on Thursday, September the 28th, 2017, from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. This time, we're going to hold a roundtable discussion. So everyone from the literary world, Black literary world, authors, writers, book publishers, newspaper printers, magazine printers, we invite you all to come out and join us at the Wright Museum, and that is Thursday, September the 28th, from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m.
Black reading is crucial for Black survival.
I'm Divine.
And I'm Malik.
And this is For My People.
This is the Project B.A.I.T. News Analysis, the Rambo Report for my people. As you probably know, I'm on the internet a lot. I scroll the internet to get information, articles, data, to post on our Concept East Institute websites on Facebook. We have about 25 websites on varying topics, okay? So I'm constantly searching through the internet to get topics to post, all right? Now, as you know, if you're on the internet, particularly on Facebook, you know that a lot of people post pictures and comments and personal items on it. But every once in a while, some of the comments made will, I guess, spark some energy, and I'll respond, okay? Especially when some nonsensical in the sense of mistaken comments are made. Well, this time, this young sister posted a picture of herself in a bikini, attractive. She must have been in her 20s. So the comments that were made about her with how beautiful she was, etc. And so I posted a 2-word comment, need some exercise, 3 words, need some exercise. Why did I do that? Let me tell you, it must have been 15 or 20 folk called me everything but a child of God. I was a hater. Let me tell, as an elder, I guess they went to my website or my Facebook page, because you can trace on Facebook, okay? And talked about how I looked, I was old, and I ought to go off and die if I don't. Well, she answered she answered, the person I made the comment about, needs some exercise. Which was just a throwaway line. Really an admiration, because she was fine. All right. And she said something about her self-esteem. I did not know how that affected her self-esteem. Now here, this young lady was attractive. And it struck a bell. I had an epiphany shortly thereafter about her comment, because here was a very attractive young black woman who had a problem with self-esteem. So I sent her an email saying, I apologize. It's not my intention to damage your self-esteem. But what it struck me is that it recalled many other situations that I've experienced in person, as well as on the internet, or in school situations when I was teaching, of the same thing. As you know, it is often said that blacks experience self-hate and have low self-esteem. But what doesn't register, at least on me, is that blacks who are attractive physically, who are capable physically in terms of their talent, who are smart in terms of their intellectual capacity, still in this society lack self-esteem. And I found that, for example, went to a play production, and a black play at the Hillberry, the third one in over 300 productions at the Hillberry. It was a black show. The thing wasn't so much the show, it was about the review by a black woman after the show. She praised it to high heaven. It was good for a first show, first performance. But it needed, once again, it needed some exercise, that is production, to take it to the next level. And I started to write an article pointing that out. But then I thought, no, I won't do that. But it didn't strike me that it would damage their self-esteem, because they were clearly talented. But talent at one level is not talent plus work plus experience and performance that takes you to a higher level. And that your focus should be on yourself, but it should be on yourself in a positive way rather than a negative way. And evaluation and criticism is not intended, at least from people like me, to damage your self-esteem. But I've noticed that black folk cannot handle critical analysis. And this play reviewer and this very attractive sister and others, black students, black athletes, black intellectuals, black scholars, cannot handle critical analysis, because the self-hate engendered by this society crushes the self-esteem not only of those who are ordinary, but also of those who are talented. And that, for me, was an interesting revelation. This has been another Project B.A.I.T. News Analysis, the Rambo Report for my people.
The Saturday Irregulars, an urban think tank, meets weekly from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. across the street from Belle Isle at the northeast intersection of East Jefferson and East Grand Boulevard. No leaders, no elections, no officers, no dues, no in-groups. Thinkers and students are welcome. A choice, not an option.
This is another Project B.A.I.T. News Analysis, the Rambo Report for my people. Recently, on the internet, one of my colleagues that I ride with on the bus was downtown attending something and was at the big hotel downtown, one of the big hotels. And he tried to get a cab, hail a cab. He wasn't, I guess it was late. And he had come out of a program or some event, and he was trying to get a cab. Okay. And he was upset. He was really frustrated and angry, and he wrote to that effect. And none of the cabs would stop for him. You know, and he said he waved at a half a dozen cabs, and they just blew by him. So he went in the hotel and told them. All right, and the valet got him a cab. Didn't get him a cab. The valet got a cab. And when the guy saw the cab, he saw who it was. He started to drive off. And so my colleague said he was going to report it. He said the cabbie laughed at him, sped off into the night to find him somebody who he thought was true and could afford to pay, because that is the 7.2. So as a consequence, in posting it on Facebook, he got a lot of comments about how he should have got the cabbie's license number and plate number and reported it to the city council. And then others said he should go down in person to the city council and make a complaint. And others thought the internet audience should boycott that cab company. Others that he should press the hotel to do something about that. And one of my comments, because I made two or three, I said, the 7.2 is not for you. He was downtown in the 7.2. And part of the message that is coming from businesses, institutions, ordinary citizens, is that the 7.2 is not for black folk. Straight up. Now this cabbie, or at least one of them, laughing at him, generally they don't do that. Cabbies are more, generally speaking, grassroots anyway, whatever they are, black, white, or whatever, Asian. Because on the internet, another colleague said she had taken a group of friends to a restaurant, upscale restaurant in the 7.2. And they led the party, her party, maybe 3 or 4 people, to a table by the kitchen. She got upset, said they didn't want to sit near the kitchen, They wanted to sit, right out where all the other folks were sitting. No surprise. I mean, back in the day, before the turn of the century, there was a Chinese restaurant in the northwest area on 6 or 7 Mile Road, 7 Mile Road, I think. And the neighborhood was changing, okay? Black folks were coming to live and buy homes in northwest Detroit, okay? And this restaurant and the area over there had been white. The Palmer Park area had been totally white. And the Chinese restaurant had a white clientele. Well, now the clientele was changing because black folk really liked Chinese food. Well, what the Chinese restaurant was doing was steering black folk into carryouts, okay? So that they wouldn't sit down with their white clientele. Well, I went with a party too because they had really good food, and they took us over by the restroom. They didn't take us by the kitchen; they took us by the restroom. I said, no, we're not going to be by the restroom. So then she tried to take us by the kitchen. She began to get flustered. Well, right in front of the kitchen, there was a big palm. She tried to sit us at the table behind the palm. Said, no, we're going to sit out here. which was in the middle of the restaurant, because it didn't have a lot of clientele. Well, this same attitude is still going on. It applies now to the 7.2, to downtown, to the cultural center. It applies to the Detroit Institute of Arts. It applies to the Q line, to the university, to the businesses. The 7.2 is not for you. And they're going to tell you and me that in every way, shape, or form, not overtly, but sometimes overtly, the 7.2 is not for you. What are we going to do about it? This has been another Project B.A.I.T news analysis, the Rambo Report for my people.
Hi, I'm Divine.
And I'm Malik Yakini, and we're here to talk to you about September is Black Reading Month. Every September since 1981, Detroiters have participated in the annual Black Reading Month celebration, which encourages them to read black books and magazines and to turn off the TV during the entire month of September, except for television shows like For My People.
And we're holding our third Black Literary Forum, which will be on Thursday, September the 28th, 2017, from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. This time, we're going to hold a roundtable discussion. So everyone from the literary world, Black literary world, authors, writers, book publishers, newspaper printers, magazine printers, we invite you all to come out and join us at the Wright Museum, and that is Thursday, September the 28th, from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m.
Black reading is crucial for Black survival.
I'm Divine.
And I'm Malik.
And this is For My People.
Little Rock Baptist Church. Come and receive your blessings at the historic Little Rock Baptist Church, 9000 Woodward Avenue, 313-872-2900. Worship services are 10 a.m. and Sunday school 8:45 a.m. Enjoy an experience that will warm your heart and feed your spiritual soul. Little Rock Baptist Church.